So I live full-time in my camper van, but this is where I lived while my van was in the shop. I drove to the island to stay with my sister, and there was this tent that was left there, so that was going to be my new home for the next 2 weeks. It was really beautiful, but honestly, 4 dogs is a lot, and this ended up being a huge challenge staying with my sister. We had very little Wi-Fi, so we used the time as wisely as we could. We sorted through her van and did a lot of walks, and I painted a lot. It was really beautiful here, but I was going through a really challenging time. As much as I know my identity isn't attached to my van, I think not having my own safe space was a big challenge. I might be having a midlife crisis. I couldn't help but feel like, oh my god, I'm living in a tent with 4 dogs, I'm 31 and unemployed, and holy fuck, what am I doing with my life? Uncomfortable as these feelings were, I tried to sit with them and cut myself some slack, which I'm not very good at. Jewel left her job and we headed into town, and now being confined to her van was so hard. It was a mess. We could hardly move, and both our mental health was absolute shit. We decided it was absolutely necessary to rent a motel and do some self-care. I dyed my hair and we did some silly face masks. My van was finally going to be ready, so we went back to the mechanic, but ended up being another 2 days. I didn't care my van was in the garage. I was just so happy to be back in my van. I finally drove out of there at midnight on Friday with a new old engine. Let's go.